Truly one of the great entertaining shows of all time. I'm doing this review in 2013 in between season 3 and season 4. Here's Downton Abbey season 3 episode 1 titled part 1, Matthew and Mary's wedding preparations and all the shenanigans that will take place to get there. Lots going on, lots of exposition in this episode, but also entertaining as well. We're in 1920. It's a new world in many ways. They're showing little hints at the fashion of how the fashion's changing within the wardrobe and how the woman's hair is being done. But this is all about Matthew and Mary's wedding and about the love story between the two of them, and of course a little bit of conflict leading up to it. So it's after the war. We learn that there's no money left. Lord Grantham has lost in a bad investment, and we learn that in a very charming way, in a very non-aloof way. Lord Grantham, Robert, as we call him in the commoners call him, is a bit of a goofball. He really doesn't understand the real world, and that's what happens when you're a lord. But we know the 1920s. If you study history, a lot is changing that's going on, and there's going to be a war between the Irish and the UK, which is going to set up with Tom Branson, who married of course Sybil. They're going to come back for the wedding, and we're going to learn about Tom, and Tom Branson's going to have a really interesting arc, one of the great arcs of season 3 for the Downton Abbey ensemble cast. So we're going to learn Tom's going to save the day a little bit with the wedding, with his relationship with Matthew, and he's got a certain grounded, realistic approach to it, even though he's very idealistic or very determined or very obsessed with his love for his country, and this is going to pay off for him later on, and it's going to be a downfall for him later on. So of course Matthew has left money, and of course Lord Grantham has blown all his money, so you kind of see a fair trade that Matthew will give the money to basically save Downton, but of course it won't be that easy because Matthew was given the money inheritance through his old fiance's old relative, so Matthew doesn't feel right to take the money, and of course that sets up almost the wedding that almost didn't happen, and of course it does happen. Bates is in prison. I don't know where they're going to go with this, but it's kind of interesting, showing the prison life in this kind of 1920s world. And we know that Bates is innocent, but we also know that Bates is a determined guy and great actor who's always got that sad face going on, and Shirley MacLaine, who's going to be Cora's mother, who's going to come for the wedding as well. So it's a time of change because the wedding occurs, and all the time there's wedding, there's all this kind of things that lead up to it, and of course that it's going to set up the setting and all the characters while this wedding backdrop goes on. Brian's nephew also is going to be the new valet, the tall guy. Edith is going after the older man. So all this exposition is going to pay off for greater stuff. You gotta love it. You gotta love Downton. You gotta love. Everybody's got their favorite characters. Of course, my name is Matthew, so I love Matthew, and I hope he survives. I hope he makes it to the end. That's my review.